We want to say hello to everybody out there in radio, TV, and internet and social media land for this viewing or this showing of a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and too often entities and individuals who play a major role in our community, who do a lot of good things, they're not necessarily overlooked, but there's not enough information and not enough recognition for them. So I'm more than a little happy today to bring to you an agency and some individuals who have played a major role in several different elements of our community. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, as I just said. And that entity, that organization, and those individuals are associated with the Economic Opportunity Council. And we just don't realize, I really didn't realize until I began to research, and that's why we're having this show, just how that organization really impacts our community. So I wanted the community to be familiar with it for two reasons. Number one, we need to give recognition to this entity. And number two, if in fact, we need to support it. Three, we need to give recognition, we need to support it, and if in fact there are some areas in which we need help that they provide, then we of course want people to reach out to them. One thing that I have always said, Ms. Hill, is that one of the problems in our community is that people are not familiar with all of the resources that are available in our community. So we're going to begin with the three of you. You first, Ms. Sarita. Just say a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Of course, my name is Sarita Hill, born here in Macon, Bibb, Bibb County. Went to school in public school, graduated from Northeast High School, went on to Macon State College and then to Mercer University. I've been with Macon Bibb ELC this month, be 35 years.
This month?
This month.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, 35 years. I'm working with people and trying to help people to move to self-sufficiency. I always wanted to be a registered nurse, but it didn't go that way, route. So, but I think I do a great job in helping people this way.
I think you do too. Carlton?
My name is Carlton Williams. I'm also a native Maconite. I attended Minnie H. Butler Elementary, and then Lanier, which later became Central, and you taught me while I was there. And
now you telling folks all about
Mercer University, and now enrolled at Middle Georgia State University. And I've been aboard at EOC for 18 years, going on 19.
Outstanding. Ms. Jaquise?
Yes, so I'm Jaquise Jones. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was adopted by Macon, Georgia. Grew up in Atlanta all of my life. Went to Atlanta public schools. I always state that Atlanta area reminds me a lot of Macon. We didn't always have a lot. People looked at us as the underdogs, but we had some treasures that came out of the Atlanta area, and I think the same of Macon. I went to Capella University for my undergraduate in early childhood education, and then I received my master's degree with Capella in adult education.
Oh, wow. Just well-qualified individual. So let's just Sarita, you mentioned self-sufficiency. That's one of the primary purposes and goals of our ELC. So just talk a little bit about that, give a general overview, and then we will let Jaquise and Carlton talk specifically about their programs.
And we try to do that in an array of services that we might provide. It might just be from a light bill that we have to stop the disconnection right then, but we also case manage. And what we think self-sufficiency is might not be their self-sufficiency. So we have to meet the client where they are. We just have to, if we want to move them, we have to take baby steps. Not all the time. If it's just to show them budgeting, to show them education that they might want to seek. It's just an array of different things that we definitely can provide to the clients, or even in our Headstart program. We can provide.
Now you got some departments that deal with that, and one of which is, and I want you to, I want the community to kind of let what she just said soak in. So your objective is to find the clients where they are, whatever it is. It could be education, homelessness, poverty, Georgia Power finna pull the plug on them, whatever it is.
Georgia Power help.
They're working with candles.
Right.
But whatever it is, you've got departments that deal with several elements of it. And I really didn't realize the magnitude. One thing that helped me to realize is when I went down 3rd and Hazel, I think, and saw all those vehicles that you all have. And they're there for a reason.
Right.
They're there for a reason, for transportation reasons, but we'll let Carlton and Jaquise. Jaquise, talk a little bit about Headstart. Now, let me tell you something before you say it. No, I'm so serious. Education is so important. And children are like sponges. They are ready to absorb the information. And let me tell you something else while I'm talking, since this is my show. Education plays a major role. That early education, pre-K and kindergarten, they play a major role in how these individuals are going to end up. And I'm sure there are success stories after 35 years. I'm sure there are several people who have been through the program who come back and just hug your neck.
Right. Or leave me a message. I got a message on my answer machine about 2 weeks ago from a young lady. She says in 2000 we helped her.
Okay.
And she just wanted me to know that she was doing a great job. And she said, you might not remember me, but I'm doing a great. I learned from you all. I learned from you. And she said, I'm doing a great job.
That's outstanding. Talk a little bit about Headstart.
So Headstart, you were definitely speaking our language. Children are like sponges. So we have Headstart, Early Headstart, Expansion, and Partnership. So Headstart, that's our 3 to 5 year olds. And then Early Headstart, that's 0 to 3. Because when we say 0 to 3, we have them, we start in the womb. So we have a pregnant moms program as well. So we have 783 students. So for Head Start, just to break that down, we have 587 are Head Start students. 100 of them are Early Head Start, including our 12 expected moms. And then the Expansion and the Early Head Start Child Care Partnership, which we have the partnership with Child Care Network down on Pine Street. We have a total of 96 students that are there. So when we think Head Start, we don't want people to think of us as just a daycare, because we're not a daycare. We take a holistic approach to working with the entire family. So there's instruction that's going on inside of those classrooms. We have a curriculum, which is the creative curriculum. It's based on the environment. So when you think of your developmental domains, your social emotional development, your cognitive development, physical development, every aspect of those developments, people look at in our class and say, oh, they're just playing. No, we're not just playing, because we're building on each one of those developmental domains. And then, but we know that in order for the children to be successful, we also need to make sure we're focusing on the parents. So not only does community services work with the parents, Head Start works with the parents. Because if there's anything that's going on in the household that impacts the students and their learning, then we got to tackle some of those dynamics that are taking place in the family as well. But ultimately, we want to make sure that parents are advocating for their students, because our goal is to make them understand your parents are your child's first learners. So everything that they are their first teachers. So everything that they're learning at home, you're starting the process of it, and then we're just taking it and you bringing you both in, and we're helping you enhance it and fine tune those.
No. You need to say that again. But I'm very, very serious. Because, too often problems, even with early childhood education and equally later in life, the problems that exist in these individuals, began early on. So, say the parent what now?
Parents are their child's first teacher.
Okay. That's extremely important. That's flat out amazing. Over 700 young people.
Yes.
That are being impacted, monthly, annually, daily, thank you very much, by this organization. And that's something to think about, because things just don't automatically happen. There has to be a process. There has to be development. There has to be interaction. And the thing that I want to emphasize to the community, and I'm sure that you all do too, is that, I want to say something, Jaquise, if I may.
Yes.
Don't just stand there, do something.
Yes.
You know, if you've got a child, and I don't know what your capacities are, but I'm on, you know, you have to slow them down because I'm gonna wind them up. You know, but don't just stand there, do something. There's so much that can be done to address problems and crime and other negative elements in our community if we were to take advantage of the resources. We'll get back to you in a minute, but you know, I see Carlton squirming over there. You know, so and I'm just kidding. You were a great guy. I remember you. You were a great student.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about your department and what you do.
Well, we come into play, and the reason I was squirming is because oftentimes we work with the parents, and we see the parent from a homeless aspect as well as at risk of being homeless. So we jump in and then try to encourage that parent. Not only do we just put a Band-Aid on the problem sometimes, we go further by encouraging them to change this particular behavior so that they're not constantly in this position. So I enjoy that part. I've been a part of community services for over 18 years, so it is challenging because oftentimes all they want is that quick fix. And then I have to get in my lecture mode, and and it becomes a little more serious than
Okay, now
that.
talk specifically, kind of frame that homelessness for me. So who would these individuals
Well,
be?
a few years ago, HUD changed their focus with the programs that we operate out of Macon, Bibb, ELC to our rapid rehousing programs. Those programs are set up to target clients that are totally unroofed or homeless, completely homeless, not living at grandmother's house or a friend's house, unless that family member or that friend is in a position where they'll lose their housing. Then we can work with that client.
I'm saying.
But otherwise, they have to be totally unroofed. And as such, they do not have to have income. They can have income, they just can't be over the financial guidelines so that it's considered that they have resources. Otherwise, we work with them and put them in houses.
Man, you know, I don't envy you. And the reason being that I know the problem that we have with homelessness
Yes.
in this community. You
It's
know,
a big
there are
challenge.
literally hundreds, you know, and it's increasing. So that's such a phenomenal program. So are you overwhelmed?
Sometimes we are, and especially when it comes to dealing with the landlords. And we have landlords that will work with our homeless clients, but that's becoming fewer and fewer. So it's harder to find the appropriate landlord that's willing to work
So when you
with a person
say
that might be
dealing with
late.
the landlord, you're trying to acquire some kind of
Rental
houses for these individuals
Yes.
at a reasonable price.
At a reasonable rate. And as you know, our fair market rental rate in this area is sort of low, but the rents are high. So one bedroom might be $686 is our max for the fair market value, but the average one bedroom apartment may cost $725, $710.
Well, then it seems to me that would be an avenue for individuals who own real estate and who got houses and stuff. You got a lot of unrented houses, and I know there are guidelines.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that out. So if in fact an individual has rentable properties and they want to be reasonable with the rent, then this is an opportunity that can serve as a double-edged sword.
It is.
It can help the landlord, and it can also, well, a triple edge, because I hope that most people get a warm and fuzzy feeling when they can help somebody.
That's right.
You know, so you can rent the facility, or you can help that homeless person, and then there are some intangible advantages of saying, well, I helped somebody, and to see somebody improve.
There's a third way of
Go
looking
ahead,
at
I
that
knew
as
you had
well.
something.
Because we can offer, by us being a 501c3, we can offer an in-kind advantage to
Deduction.
that, a deduction.
Oh, wow.
Which is considered called in-kind. So we could provide that for them if they're willing to take that loss to make that adjustment to accommodate our
But
clients.
it's not as significant because you get to write it off. You know,
That's right.
that's clearly outstanding. Thank you, young man. Okay. Okay, so what other kind of things, Sarita? I know you talked about the assistance with the light bill, the Head Start, the homelessness. Are there other areas that you are? I mean, I was just amazed when Eric took me the information
Yes,
on
we
everything.
have.
And people don't realize you're talking about a major organization that's having a measurable impact. 700 kids. That's more than some elementary school population. You know, so are there other things?
Oh yeah, we have our foster grandparent program. That's where we actually bring in volunteers and they get a stipend. 55 years and older, they actually come into the school and to Head Start or in the local school system. And they act
How much you pay?
they actually come in and they actually act as a grandparent because
Wow.
most of the children are not. So we have about 40, 50 of those that's throughout Macon. That's the foster grandparent program. It is everything we do has a guideline mostly to it. And then we also have our transportation department. That's where you see those vans down there. We were actually transporting individuals to work, their child to daycare and to work. That was through our Department of Family Children Services. And then we also...
So you pick up the child and the parent? Wow. You know what I taught over at Roger Jackson's program, you know, with that program he got on? And you know what I told the recipients? Excuses come out of trash cans. I mean, if you're going through a situation, there are so many resources available until, I mean, you can just make a decision to try to help yourself. And then I think EOC is one of the entities that can provide that kind of assistance. So you pick up the baby and the baby
And
mom.
we pick up we take them to doctor's appointments. We also take them to the rec center or the Elaine Lucas Center. We take the elderly there. We only had one county. Now we're in 11 counties.
Oh, wow.
So we expanded the transportation department. So that's been a success. We have over 200 employees that work for Macon Bibb. We have that program of anything. When we talk about light, we talk about the low income energy assistance program. That's LIHEAP, which will be coming up on the cooling program. So we finish LIHEAP, and then in April we'll start cooling, where they can actually get another $400 or $350 on their primary heating source or lights. They would get it in April.
Wow.
So and then we have that program, and what else do we have?
We have the emergency assistance program, which helps with an array of things. It could be medication. It could be helping with, I always say never say no, because we can fit it in somehow under our performance guidance. One of the good things about that program is that you can be creative and you can reach out and help people in a broader spectrum than the controlled programs like Rapid Rehousing.
If you need boots to go to work, if you need
Uniforms.
we can help you with that.
We can pay fees for you to get your trainings and your certifications. So it's a lot we can do with that.
I mean,
we pay for school with Elaine Lucas School. So
I mean, that is so amazing. And then I want to just pause. This is a call to action.
Call to
I'm your host, I'm interviewing Ms. Jaquise Jones of Head Start of EOC, Mr. Carlton Williams of Homelessness and Other Programs, and the Director of the Economic Opportunity Council, which is in the person of Ms. Sarita Hill. I just want to pause for a minute and ask the community to absorb this information. Because if help is available, now there may be some people out there who are in need of some kind of, see what we're trying to do, look, if you're going to grow the community, you have to do it from the bottom up.
That's right.
And it affects everybody. It affects our taxes, it affects our security, it affects our safety, it affects the grants that we receive. And while I'm on that, let's talk about the what?
The
census.
The census. Come on, you say it then.
On our big billboard out, we're doing the countdown. April 1. If you step on our premises, you're gonna be asked about the census starting in April 1. We're gonna have computers for our parents. If they want to fill them out, they can go right to the computer.
Let me interrupt you. Look, there are very, very few things that are more important in this community than the census. You hear about the Headstart program, you hear about the homelessness program, you hear about the energy program with lights and the transportation programs. Well, these programs are affected by the number of people we have in our community. So you need to not so whether you qualify for one of these programs or not, you qualify to be counted, and you qualify to encourage everybody to be counted, because the number of people, these numbers, correct me if I'm wrong, affect funding.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Affect funding. So if you are not counted, then that means there's a possibility that might be 3 or 4 children that they don't have the funds to support. There might be 35 homeless folk
That you can't house.
that they can't get housing for, and there might be 50 people who have to be in the dark and in the cold because of the lack of utility. There might be some people who won't go to work because they ain't got shoes, and I mean it like that. Ain't got shoes.
True.
To wear. So that's very, very important. Anything else you want to say about any of the other programs?
I just tell people to come and let us see. Talk to our case managers. We often say we can't really even go out. Sometimes we be in the grocery store. Somebody will say, when are you going to do the lights again? My lights. Take their name and number. Let me call you. I have someone to call you. We could be at a funeral. We've been at a funeral and they tapped you on the back.
I'm going to say something very quickly. Now, let me tell you this. This organization is interested in the hand up element. All of their hand outs, or however you say it. We want you, I would think, to have the mindset that you want some assistance, to move, so don't just absorb, don't eat up
Right.
all of the resources where it can't help anyone else. And that's why you have the counseling and the mentoring, and you have the conversations and things of that nature with people whom you assist. Now, Ms. Jacquees, are you at capacity?
Yes, we actually have a wait list.
Okay.
I do want to mention that we are now going through mass application for the 2021 program year. So we're accepting applications down at 1680 Broadway. You have to call and make an appointment, 478-738-3240. And we're taking applications up until March 26th. So we're open for the new program year, Head Start, Early Head Start, Expansion and Child Care Partnership. We're taking those applications right now for the new program year.
Right. But with you, Carlton, you can help anybody anytime.
Anybody
as long as
anytime.
you still got the resources available.
As long as the resources are available. And I would like to add to that we do have a dental program for the homeless that we run out of our office in cooperation with Dr. Eric Hall. We also do homeless prevention, which is a program if you get behind, let's say you lose your job, you're behind 3 months, rather than trying to rehouse you, I can keep you where you're at. So there are other programs that are available. We do prevent blindness a couple of times a year, where we purchase glasses for people at no cost to them, do the eye exam and purchase the glasses. So there are other programs, and we're always thinking of new programs to bring to this
I want
community.
to take just a moment, Jaquise, Carlton, and Sarita, to remember Jimmy Samuel.
Oh, yes.
You know, just take just 30 seconds to talk about Jimmy.
Oh, he was, I mean, an awesome, awesome mentor, boss, leader. I wouldn't be where I am if it was not for Mr. Samuel.
Yeah, and he played a major, and he was a director,
For 26 years,
for
27 years.
and he unfortunately passed
Right,
a
right.
few years ago. But I know the role that he played in making this organization
Right.
what it is today. So,
In
go
my
ahead. I know you
life,
had something.
Mr. Samuels played even a further role because he was my Outward Bound advisor. And so he started early with me, and then I later came to work under his leadership.
So I just wanted to say that. I thought it would not be robbery to
Oh yeah, without riding. And then our board of directors, they are awesome. We have 15-member boards that meet. We meet on the third Thursday, and they are engaged. They know exactly what's going on. But like you said, Mr. Samuels, he set the ground for
Okay,
us.
okay. But
So we're
I
on
wanted to remember him. Okay, you got a pardon statement.
Well, I just want to say thank you. I know we've been missing each other a little. We having to go, but I want to thank you. And I just want to tell anybody if they need us, come and see about it.
Now give that number again.
478-738-3240. That's our main line.
Okay, and you've got a website also.
Yes, www.maconbibbcounty.com.
Anything else you want to say?
I just would like to say be patient.
Right.
Because we do get a lot of clients with a lot of different issues, and everybody's problem is a serious problem. So just be patient.
Jaquise.
And I just want to add that education, like we said, it is the key. People say that all the time. Here in Macon, we're just working on building a community of learners, and that encompasses everybody: children, family, community partners, all stakeholders.
And thank our partners, especially the Board of Education.
Yes. Yes.
They definitely.
Well, I just want to say that I'm so happy that I have had the opportunity to impart this information to the community about a phenomenal program, a phenomenal organization, phenomenal recipients, and phenomenal people
Thank you.
running this program. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Haversham, having interviewed Ms. Jaquise Jones of Headstart with EOC, Mr. Carlton Williams with the Homeless Program of EOC, and Ms. Sarita here, who's director of the entire organization. If you want to become more familiar with everything that they do, then you can either call or go to the website. But like I said, excuses come out of trash can, and don't just stand there, do something. Have a great day.